Well, senior citizens throughout our region are at the highest risk of death from the coronavirus. Yet these same seniors are often in need of services that require human interaction. ElderCircle in Grand Rapids provides many of these services in rural northern Minnesota. Almanac North producer Greg Grell talked with ElderCircle's executive director Renee Bymark about how it is adapting during the pandemic.
ElderCircle is a nonprofit that serves older adults throughout Itasca County and northern St. Louis County. And our mission is to empower older adults so that they can maintain active living and healthy independence by providing resources, referrals, and services.
And you actually are working more than one county, correct?
We do. We serve the full county of Itasca County, and the northern St. Louis County. We've just recently started serving in that area.
And then parts of Koochiching County as well?
Parts of Koochiching County, our RSVP program, which is the Retired Senior Volunteer Program, also serves Koochiching County.
Now, one of the things we talked about before the interview is that you have a great service for older folks, and that's grocery delivery. And I understand that's really gone up during this COVID epidemic.
Correct. So we have been doing the grocery shopping and delivery service for quite a while, and we serve an average amount of clients weekly, but we've seen a large surge since the COVID-19 pandemic. Last week to this week, we had a 47% increase in the amount of orders, and I expect to see that increase overboard week over week, just due to the need of people having to stay home, and the longer that they're home, needing to have their groceries brought in or meals.
So how does that service work? You use a lot of volunteers, I understand.
We do. We utilize quite a few volunteers. On an average week, it's about 22 volunteers. With the increase, we are going to be exceeding over 30 volunteers per week. And as we see the need grow, we'll have to increase that too. So how that works is people will call and set up an account, and we set that up with Super One in Grand Rapids on the south end, or the main area of Grand Rapids and the surrounding area. So the order takers will take the orders on Tuesday, and on Wednesday morning, the volunteer shoppers show up and do the shopping for all the orders, and then delivery drivers, who are also volunteers, deliver those groceries to the homes. One change that has come of the COVID-19 is we do a non-contact delivery. So groceries are left at the door, we knock at the door, leave the groceries. And some of the facilities that we deliver to, we actually just leave those at the front with the administration, and they actually deliver those groceries to each person's apartment or room.
Now, with everything that's happening and the increased demand for your service, I know you're looking for more volunteers, and some of your volunteers are in that age group where they're also maybe not able to do what they used to do. So volunteers are really needed right now.
Correct. A lot of our volunteers are at the age where they're at high risk of exposure to the COVID-19. So we have had some volunteers who have needed to step away. We have had many volunteers from the community reach out. And then we've also been working with the District 318, since they are still having their staff work. They have been able to afford a few volunteers who have shown up and help us do the grocery shopping.
Well, that's great, and I know we'll give people more information as how they can volunteer towards the end of this interview. But one of the things you also do is you provide free medical transportation for people. Talk about that program a little bit.
So that's our assisted transportation program, and we give rides to any kind of medical appointment, but with, of course, the changes in our situation now, the only rides that we're being able to provide are essential rides, which that could mean to dialysis, chemo appointments, or surgical procedures that are deemed necessary at this time. So people would call and set up and enroll in this program. You do need to be 60 plus and live in Itasca County or northern St. Louis County. And we do have volunteers who are giving those rides. And of course, we put a lot of precautions in place to protect our clients and the volunteers.
Another thing that you provide is in-home care, direct care from workers. And I imagine now with the COVID-19, the things are changing with that a bit.
Rapidly changing. And our direct care workers are still going into many homes. Some they are unable to serve because if a person is living in a facility that is under a lockdown right now, we're unable to serve them. But we have had quite a few calls of additional people who need that help. And that can range all the way from helping them get their groceries, cleaning the home, and some personal needs that might need to be met while they're in the home.
You also do something, I think you call it the telephone reassurance calls. You've got a big database of people that you want to make sure are doing all right.
Correct. And that's actually brand new, and that has come out of the need from the community. So we have started doing telephone reassurance calls, and that is just placing calls and spending some time on the phone with people. And we are utilizing the database of people that we have touched in the past or currently serving. But we're also, if the community has people who they feel should be reached out to, they are more than welcome to reach out to ElderCircle. And we'll add that person to our list. And some of our concerns that we're addressing with those calls is just, are they able to connect with family and friends still via phone? Because that social isolation can be such a concern. Also food security, and are they getting their medical prescriptions? We know that with the changing times that prescriptions can also become another one of those challenges of people being able to get. So that's actually another service that we have now incorporated due to the situation.
And I imagine with many of the more rural residents in Itasca County and northern St. Louis County that that kind of isolation is an issue, especially now with everybody having to stay at home. So that kind of service sounds like it could be really valuable.
We're finding that those phone calls are very welcomed and people are enjoying those. And I can honestly say the staff and the volunteers who are making those calls have expressed that they have really enjoyed being able to reach out and help somebody and maybe even link them to another resource that they might be in need of.
What would you say, Renee, are some of the more critical needs right now as far as your organization goes, the places where you really could use some help right now?
I think our basic need will be our grocery shopping and delivery. In Grand Rapids and the surrounding area, we do that on a weekly basis, but more rural, we try to match clients with a one-on-one volunteer who can meet those needs. Again, there's not contact in the home. It's all can be done over the phone besides going to the grocery store, making those orders and then dropping them off at the door. So that's going to be our biggest need is the more rural areas. And then the prescription delivery to finding volunteers who maybe can help out with that.
And finally, Renee, how can people get in touch with you if they do want to help volunteer in some way?
To get the most immediate response, I would call ElderCircle at 218-999-9233. And we are currently working off-site, but we have access to all voice messages. We are taking care of those daily.
All right. Well, Renee Bymark, Executive Director of ElderCircle, thank you so much for spending time with us and good luck going forward. Let's hope everything goes well.
Thank you so much for having us.